George Salamis, President and CEO of Integra Resources.
George, good to see you. Right, news came out today. You've raised a bit of money. I think be a great time to maybe talk about the why and maybe answer a few sort of questions that are happening in the marketplace. First of all, tell us about the raise. How much? Where did it come from?
Yeah, how much was $60 million was the targeted raise. We were not up for raising any more than that. That was based off a shelf prospectus that was tied to the feasibility study, which we submitted on Monday. And that was the news release on the DeLamar feasibility study that we put out right before Christmas. I think we spoke about that at some stage last year. And, very well subscribed, 3 times oversubscribed. There's 12 or so new institutions in the book, including 3 generalist funds. So it was really well accepted in the investment community.
Okay, so it's understood by the investment community, oversubscribed. But I think some of the questions out in the marketplace are around like, well, why are you raising money? Are you struggling, or are you trying to buy something else? Basically, a lot of uncertainty. We spoke last time, about a couple of weeks ago, about the kind of Fast 41 process, and I think you used a phrase to me. Said this Fast 41 process gives us kind of clear timelines and better capital planning opportunities. So, can you just talk through the why now? What's the timing?
Yeah, the why now. The why now is really driven by that Fast 41 sort of 15-month timeline that the BLM handed us, a mere 2 weeks ago, essentially. And that timeline was far faster than certainly we expected, which is all great news, obviously. But that's what's driving the motivation to get this financing done. The BLM handed us a faster permitting timeline, and so the feasibility study that we just submitted identifies really a defined set of early works, things that we can tackle on the project, get going in advance of the record of decision or the permit, essentially. Long lead time items, land purchases, some infrastructure work, things that we can do without having the full permit in place. And why not get going on that? We chose to move faster. Not slower. The financing is bespoke to DeLamar and nothing else. No, there's nothing else going on with other assets which drove this financing. Florida Canyon's performing as expected. What this also does is it shows the regulators that we're really serious about building this asset as well. Now that we have the cash in hand to deploy on it, and I think lastly, it enhances the leverage in project financing discussions that we'll have very soon, right? This is $60 million essentially coming off of the project capital. It's invested capital into the project that sets us up for a better discussion when it comes to project financing eventually.
Okay, and just in terms of kind of, you got to kind of maybe spell it out for some folks, because obviously we talked about timeline certainty with Fast 41. Tech, better capital planning was certainly part of that conversation. But when you say better leverage, do you mean lower cost of capital?
That's the target, correct? Yes.
Right. Okay. And when would those discussions need to start?
That's an H2 2026 initiative for us.
Right. And what does that do for you? We remind people exactly what you're going to be doing with this capital. Certainly on this raise, and then and then obviously second half you're going to need to raise some money in the market. What are you going to be doing?
Yeah, again, the financing is bespoke just to DeLamar, and so what it is, it's site preparation, infrastructure upgrades. As we've talked about on previous webinars that we've done with you, this is a past producing asset. There's some infrastructure on site that Kinross left behind. Some of it needs upgrading, so there's a bit of work to do there. Infrastructure planning. There's key land purchases that we have to make. That are sort of in and around the mine site itself that will make our life easier in the future. Long leads on equipment, power line upgrades, engineering procurement items, all of these things that, again, we can get going on in advance of a record of decision. And why wouldn't we choose to de-risk the project right now when we have the means to do so?
Okay, so this is kind of discretionary acceleration capital rather than a contingency buffer, because you're nervous about the markets, etc. Okay, whilst you're doing this, obviously we had that kind of quite strange reaction in the gold market. Came back on again, and sort of it seems to be sort of Well, do you expect it to settle?
Do I expect these markets to settle? I would expect that the markets will continue to be volatile based on if the first sort of 4 to 6 weeks of the year or anything like the next 4 to 6 weeks, I would expect that to be the case given everything that's going on. Again, another reason why we chose not to wait, because we had demand from some new institutions, some generalist funds who showed a keen interest to participate. So with that demand, together with the need to go faster on DeLamar, de-risk the project, it just seemed like the right time to go for us.
So there's nothing to do with like production timelines, construction decision timing, market window availability.
Market window availability and backed by the Bureau of Land Management, the federal regulators who want to go far faster on permitting than certainly we expected, which is great news.
So actually, that last interview was meaningful. I think it was perhaps a bit subtle for some, but it's really going to kind of drive your ability to move this project forward at pace, at lower capital, well, not lower capital intensity, but lower capital cost. Are there any other kind of big moments you think this year that sort of outside of the kind of the planning, the process, that we need to be looking at?
Yeah, with respect to DeLamar, again, it's all of the initiation of those kind of early works initiatives. We've got some detailed engineering to start on DeLamar, but kind of moving back to Florida Canyon, we've got a feasibility study which we're working on now, which will come out mid-year. Again, we've talked in previous webinars that we've done, what we think that feasibility study will show: a much longer mine life, some general improvements with respect to what we acquired only last year, and yeah, I mean it's going to be an interesting year. I'd love to talk about sort of some of these other questions if we could, about some of the questions that I got certainly overnight with respect to this financing, right? And so, did we do this because Florida Canyon is struggling? And the answer is absolutely not. Florida Canyon continues to deliver strong margins. We're still making $2,500 a margin per gold ounce, right, produced. So it's doing really well. Certainly better than we expected from a cash flow generation perspective. The last quarter of last year wasn't our best quarter. There was a bit of a mishap with respect to a tear in the lining of our solution pond that we had to address, and that meant reduced performance. But we're now back. That tear has been repaired, and we're back up and performing. And so 2026 is going to look a lot like 2025 from a performance perspective. We'll be putting out guidance, by the way, the next couple of weeks, but this financing has nothing to do with Florida Canyon. Florida Canyon is going great. It's doing exactly what we said it would. So on that piece, the other sort of questions I had, are you raising this money to buy something else? And no, this money is earmarked for DeLamar early works, right, and nothing else. We're not out shopping for another asset with these proceeds. That's this was targeted for DeLamar. Was this due to cost overruns or budget overruns elsewhere? No. Florida Canyon's covering everything else just fine. No cost overruns driving this. No need to panic on that. We didn't raise this money because something else went wrong. And then the last piece, with respect to some of our corporate or sort of strategic investors, BD, for example, did BD sell because they were spooked? And the answer to that is actually a great story. BD took 3x their profits on the convert late last year, and they sold some of those. Not all, certainly they're still significant shareholders, and they have rights to participate pro rata. So they did participate pro rata in this financing, re-upping their interest. What they used, I'm told, is what they used some of the proceeds from their gains on Integra, and they've done this, I understand, on other things that they own. They use the process to fund a major charity initiative called the BD Luminaries, and I've been to a number of these functions, and they're phenomenal. Students who are smart but are constrained by circumstances, financial circumstances. They're given a push with this great foundation that BD's put together, and good on them for doing that. So BD didn't step away; they recycled the capital for philanthropic measures and step right back in. So it's the best of all worlds.
Okay, and look, and appreciate you answering some of those questions for the chat rooms and so forth. And one final one from me. Given this is a raise, I just want people to kind of walk away thinking the right things. You laid out a case, an argument for on several levels there, but what is your expectation around the kind of steady state free cash flow profile for this year?
2020, we'll be putting out guidance on that. 2026 is going to look a lot like 2025. We still have a lot of capital to reinvest in the mining operation, but plenty of cash flow to deliver on that. So that's certainly not an issue. Our treasury is still very healthy.
Okay.
Per the numbers that we put out recently, I think it's $60 million odd in the treasury.
Okay, so this is not a money situation. This is an execution story.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, I know you've got to go, and I appreciate you picking up the call and speaking to me this morning. So we'll stay in touch with you, and we'll talk to you again soon. I think it's the price.
My pleasure, Matthew. Thank you.